Back with our last lesson for term 2. Who's excited? I know I am. I wouldn't mind getting my weekends back, but no, this has been good. You guys worked really well from home, and I know that your teachers are there, and most of you are back, but not everyone is. And I've had a few requests for these resources to keep coming, just so you've got something else to look at. So we'll see how we go. Factorizing again today, writing things as brackets being multiplied together, algebraic expressions. Going to change them into algebraic terms being factors being multiplied. Now we're doing a special type called factorizing by grouping. You can see here, if I look at those terms and I'm trying to find a common factor for all terms, I can't find one. There's x is common in the first 3 terms, but the 6 doesn't have an x in it, does it? So x can't be a common factor. And looking across the numbers, well, 1's a common factor, but that's not really helping me, is it? We want to try and be able to write these as things being multiplied together. So what we do is we use a grouping method. We're going to group these into pairs. So the first thing I'm going to do for question A there is just group them into x squared plus 2x. And then I've got 3x plus 6. Now you would have noticed something funny straight away. I've kept the plus sign with the 3x and put a new plus sign in between. It's not necessary when there's a plus sign in that position, but it is when there's a minus sign. So if you get in the habit of doing it all the time, you're never going to have any trouble. That's certainly true. I've put an equal sign there. Those two expressions are still equal. If I added the right-hand bracket and expanded each bracket, I'm still going to get what we started with, so that's okay. What we do now, though, is we just look at each pair and factorize each pair. So the first bracket here, x is a common factor. The remaining terms are x in the case of the left-hand term and 2 for the term on the right. If I expand that, I still get x squared plus 2x. Looking at the second bracket, 3x and 6, 3 is a common factor. What's remaining? There's an x, and 3 times 2 would be what I need to make 6. Now you can see why we've done it in pairs. If you are lucky, if you've chosen your pairs well, you'll have a common factor there. We looked at factorizing these sorts of terms before. Put the common factor, the x plus 2 out the front. What were the remaining terms? In the left-hand term, it was a 3, and in the right-hand term, left-hand term it was an x, and the right-hand term it was a 3. Going a little bit too fast for my own good there. And there's your final factorized expression. If you expand that, you are going to get x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. You then simplify and make it x squared plus 5x plus 6, but we're not doing that today. Let's have a go at B, and watch again. This time I've got the negative sign in front of that third term, so I just want to be careful. I start by grouping my first 2 terms, x squared plus 3x. I'm going to put a plus sign here and then put my negative 5x minus 15. And now it's just a matter of factorizing each bracket separately. First bracket, x is a common factor. Remaining terms are x plus 3. Second term, negative 5 is a common factor. Now I can have plus negative, that's just going to be a minus sign, isn't it? So I put the negative there, and we said it was going to be negative 5 was my common factor. Remaining terms are x plus 3, and that's the trick there. You've got to be careful when you're factoring out a negative. You've got to make sure you take it out of each term, and that's going to create the plus sign inside our bracket. Luckily it did, because now that bracket is a common factor. X plus 3 is my common factor. Remaining terms from the first bit is an x, and from the second part is a negative 5. And there you have it, x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 5. Of course, there are 2 there for you to have a go at. I'll leave it so you can see the working while you're working on yours. And pause the video now, have a go at them, and then come back and see how you went. And there you have your answers. Of course, you probably just checked by expanding in your head and making sure you got the correct expanded term. But there they are in case you want to have a look at them. Very good. All right, let's keep going. Rearranging an expression to factorize by grouping. Here, if I attempt to do factorizing by grouping, I'm going to get 2x squared minus 9. There's nothing really common there. Minus 18x minus x. I can take an x out, but it's not going to work very well. So sometimes, every now and then, you need to rearrange this. I'm going to rearrange it by just popping my negative 9 to the end. 2x squared minus 18x plus x minus 9. Remembering it doesn't matter what order we add or subtract in, but sometimes it does make a difference when it comes to our factorizing. Looking at the first bracket here, 2x squared minus 18x, 2x is my highest common factor. Now the first term still needs an x, and the second term needs a -9. Looking at my second term, the x plus 9, there is no common factor there, so it just stays as x minus 9. But look at that, x minus 9 is now a common factor. So I put my common factor out the front, and the remaining factors in the first term, it's a 2x, and in the second term, remember what number goes in there between the plus sign and the bracket? That's right, there's a 1 there, isn't there? I need to make sure I have that. And there you have your factorized form. Could I have rearranged it another way? Well, let's have a look. What about if I went 2x squared plus x minus 18x minus 9? Now when I'm putting them into pairs, remember if there's a minus sign there, you want to create a new plus sign in between. X is a common factor, and I've got 2x plus 1. -9 is a common factor, and I have 2x plus 1. And you can still get to the same expression a different way. So often they'll already be set up ready to factorize. Sometimes they won't be, and you just need to rearrange. But whichever way you rearrange it, you should be able to get there. As always, one for you to try. Pause the video if you don't want to see me do it. I'm actually going to talk my way through this one for a change. Why not? Last video of the term, I might as well give it a crack. I'm going to rearrange it, keep my 2x squared there, and put my -10x here, plus 3x, minus 15. I like to keep that third term positive if I've got that option, because then it just means I'm less likely to mess up those brackets. Here we go. 2x is a common factor, and I've got x minus 5 left over. Second expression, 3 is a common factor, and again I have x minus 5 left over. X minus 5 is my highest common factor, and what's remaining? 2x plus 3. If you want to try it a different way, maybe you want to have a go, well, jumping all over the place. Maybe instead of having the -10x as the second term, pop the 3x there, see how you go, see if you get the same answer. Alright, that's it. Plenty of revision to come. Well done on getting through the work this term. We've been really impressed with how all of you have been coping with the changes, and in fact some of you have even been thriving, which is just amazing. Thanks very much. Catch you when you're needing help sometime. Don't forget to use the collaboration space. Put any questions in there. Message us on Teams. Just keep doing your maths, getting help as frequently as you need it. That's the secret to getting better. Well done, guys. Catch you next time. Bye.